Let me just get myself together here. Pray everything is well with you. Yeah. I'm going to go shave. Looking like an old gray grizzly bear. What's going on, guys? Pray everything is well with you. Keith K.L. Belvin here, crisis specialist, professional counselor, author, and educational consultant. Yep. Yeah, I wear a bunch of hats. Got a couple. I'm a speaker and all that other stuff. But yeah, I wear a couple of hats. Pray everything is well with you. So it is still Mental Health Awareness Month. I wanted to come on, and I said I was going to come on at least once a week. And I was looking. I said I didn't go live. Well, I went live on one of the other platforms, and that's actually something that I wanted to share with you. Also, tonight at 9:30. If you want to come over and have a conversation with me, I'm going to be discussing relationships tonight. I'll be in Baltimore. So from the hotel tonight at 9:30, I'm going to be discussing relationships. Come through. But I'll be over at TikTok today. Hey, Ellen. Newport News. Okay. I've been to Newport News all of one time. Pleasure. But yeah, I'll be on TikTok tonight at 9:30. Hello from Maryland. Hello. And I will be discussing relationships. They've been asking me to go live on TikTok, and I have not. So I'm slowly working my way into carving my space over there. It is a whole different planet on TikTok, but an old head like me is finding my way. So I'll be over there tonight discussing relationships. And I chose Friday night at 9:30 because it gives the parents a chance to unwind. You can grab some wine, relax. Kids should be there watching TV or getting ready to bed, whatever it is, but I'll be over there. But with that said, I want to talk about this today, and it's blended families. And I did a presentation last Saturday for a men's ministry in Maryland. Shout out to HCM. I think it's Higher Calling Ministries. I got to double check. I don't want to give the wrong name, but HCM in Maryland. And we talked about blended families, something I know very well. And so in the presentation, one of the things that always comes up when I discuss blended families is, and let me just bring this up. Hold on one second. There we go. This always comes up. This subject right here always comes up. And I'm sorry if I didn't say hello, Cassandra. Hey, Cassandra. Is arguing with the other parent and what they do in their home. And in my counseling sessions, in my private life, dealing with friends, dealing with family, sometimes just dealing with strangers. The conversation of the way the mother runs their house, the way the father runs their house always becomes an issue. And this is something that needs to be discussed. I would prefer if the families would come to professional counseling. I know that's not always the case. And unfortunately, in a lot of African-American, Caribbean, and African communities, we do not come to counseling. Many of us, not a lot, see counseling as taboo, or we don't discuss our family issues with a counselor, but yet we will talk about them on social media, and we'll talk about them to friends and all that other stuff. Don't shoot me. You know I'm telling the truth. But at the end of the day, as a professional and as a father and as a person who is going through all that drama, I am still here to help people fix what's wrong. And it's super important. And the reason why is because there has to be an understanding. What I do when I'm talking to couples is I try to gauge how they feel about the child mutually, because that's who it's really about, the child or children. Because I try to get across the fathers and I try to get across the mothers. You cannot control somebody else's home. And I don't want to hear, well, my daughter, my son, my children, that doesn't change. They are still going to be your children when they get there, and they're going to be your children when they come home. But you do not have the right. Now, let me say this again, and I know I'm probably going to get stabbed for it. You do not have the right, just because you are a parent, to dictate to somebody else's house. I don't care what your relationship was. Ellen says, I think the one who brought the children into the relationship should be the disciplinarian. And also, side note, women should be on one accord to find out how each discipline. Well, I don't think we have to put a particular gender on it. And the one who brought the children into the relationship, it all depends. It all depends. And in this case, if both of you are parents, y'all both had a hand in bringing in the children to the relationship. And I'll just show you what Ellen posted so you guys can see it as well. I think each couple, this is where it has to be organic for me. Each couple has to decide what that is going to look like, what the disciplinary situation is going to be, what that looks like. Because if you have started dating, or even if you're in a new marriage, new relationship, and you have that person in the life, you should have worked all that out before you brought that person in and made them a major part of your life. So I'm not going to talk about that right now. I did talk about that in the presentation. You can check out my YouTube page if you like. And actually, here's my YouTube page if you're interested in checking it out. And you can find the presentation there. Just go to my YouTube page. Now, the mother and father have to sit down, or the parents, you want to be fair, the parents have to sit down and decide what they are going to deal with, what they're not going to deal with. But here's the thing that is super important. You have to give in to what goes on in somebody's house as long as the children are not being hurt. If a child is being harmed, that has to be dealt with. So let me just take that off the table right away, because I'll get somebody to say, but what if he's hurting? Yes. If they're hurting, that's different. The reason I say that is because the man comes into a relationship, the woman is looking for a male role. The minute he dislikes how less the discipline is a child. But again, Ellen, that is all, and I'll bring up what Ellen said so you guys can see it. Ellen, that all that goes into the dating. A woman or man, it doesn't make a difference which one. You don't bring another person into the lives of your children until you two have a strong understanding of each other and a strong understanding of the relationship that you were previously in connection to your children. You don't bring the person in there. All right, I see you. Thank you for stopping by, Cassandra. You don't bring the person into that environment until they are well-versed on what's going on, because of the potential danger that it creates and the drama that it could, and again, quote unquote, could bring, male or female. If I'm dating, like when I started dating my wife, and at that time, girlfriend, I had to make sure I was good with my situation. And then we had to deal with my ex-wife not being okay with me having somebody new in my life. It took 3 years for my divorce to finally get final and all that other stuff. But I wasn't going to stop living my life because I wasn't with her. So she felt it was okay to try to dictate my home because we had children. No. And then when I wouldn't give in to that, she got upset. Okay. And then she turned her attacks onto Tiffany, my wife, because you're not going to have this, and you're not going to do this, and you're not going to do that. And I had to say, no, check that. And then she even said, I know you're not going to check me over no new BITCH. Watch your mouth. Because I wouldn't let anybody call you a BITCH. You're not going to call the new young lady in my life the same thing. And those boundaries were set. It took maybe 4 years. I think by 2004, because I left in 2000. Yeah, by 2004, I think we had finally settled it down. And that was because my girlfriend, now wife, didn't buy into the foolishness that my ex-wife was trying to lay down. And I understand my ex-wife was hurt. My ex-wife didn't like the fact that I had moved on. And I respect that now because I'm old enough and mature enough to realize that I was a major part of her pain, just like she was a major part of her own pain. And this is what we have to live with. And this is what has to happen. And boundaries is something that's, I'm getting to that, Ellen, without question. What's going on, brother, Pastor McGuire, is that those boundaries have to be set in self first. Because the thing is, you have to know what your relationship is with the other person long before you bring somebody into your life. No, you will not dictate what time they go to bed in my house, but please be fair. If they go to bed at 8:30 with their mom, don't let them stay up till 11 o'clock with you. That messes the child up. And also make sure that your rules in your home are rules that are focused on the child, not just the complete opposite of the other parent because you don't like them. And thank you so much for the compliment, Ellen. I appreciate you. And the reason why is, Lord, do you know how many counseling sessions I sit in that the parents are going toe to toe? Hey, calm your behinds down. I got this. Now, wait a minute. Why are you letting those children stay up to 11? Well, she forces them to go to bed at 8:30, and I think they should stay up all night long. How is that healthy for the child? Please explain. Mom, say nothing. Okay. He doesn't let them eat McDonald's, so I feed them McDonald's 5 days a week. Mom, how is that healthy to the child? How does that help your children? I know what he doesn't do. Get it. You don't like that. But how is what you're doing healthy for your child or children? And see, the key is we have to respect each other's boundaries by knowing that once your child gets in the car, the Uber, the bus, the train, the plane, I don't care, and goes off with the other parent, they are in control. He didn't just say that. They're my children. You're not going to tell me what to do with my children. Calm down. When you are in a co-parenting situation, it is not, they are the sub-parent and I'm just lending you the children. No, you are not. If this is her children and this is his children, when they are with him or when they are with her, respect that. Parents need to realize that they need to be mentally healthy, of course. But unfortunately, Pastor, many folks do not know that they are emotionally ill. That is where I come in. Because many of us convince ourselves that we're okay. Many of us convince ourselves that the habits and the ways that we are doing are okay. Many of us will justify the ends by the means. We'll go, look, you see how I turned out, so it must be working. No, that's not how it works. That's actually how we breathe tremendous life into generational curses. And I can tell you, as a person who's been around children and their parents since 1994 in the educational capacity, and a few years before that, as an insurance salesman, before I decided to go back to school, I dealt with people having to come into their homes and discuss protection of the family in the event that someone passes. So I've been dealing with families really since 1991. Yeah, stop making a relationship that has ended out of a partner stop having sex. Yes, stop making a relationship that has ended out or partner. You have to clean that up for me, Ellen. I'm not exactly sure because I'm reading it as you wrote it. Yes, stop making a relationship. I need to rewrite that for me, Ellen, so I can get it completely. Because I always want to respond to people that respond to me. Pastor McGuire says, I completely get it. We wonder why our kids are acting up and rebel later on. We never look at ourselves, the parents, as the problem. Without question. There, I like that right there. And that is it. And I'm going to tell you something. The reason why I brought up how long I've been working with children, basically in an official capacity since 1994. So you're talking about literally almost 30 years. And I've been an educator, taught in the New York City school system for 22. I've been down here in Delaware in the last 6 years or whatever it is, working with, now I'm actually a private counselor as well as I'm an educational consultant. I run a mentor program. And let me explain something to you. Do you know how many children that I sit with that share with me things that they cannot share or don't share with their parents? The frustration. And we have these conversations in our young men's group. We talk about, what it's like being in between homes when you have parents in different homes, what it's like if you don't have your father, if you don't have your mother, what it's like dealing with death, and what it's like when you got to go live somewhere else. We had one of our young men got himself in trouble, so he had to move from live with his mom to go living with his father. And I felt bad because I didn't get a chance to speak to him before he left because I could have helped him. But, I only come in a couple of hours after school twice a week. He has to deal with the other situations. And that's something that we talk about too. So Ellen, let me see. Ellen said, yes, stop making a relationship that has ended out or partner parent and stop having sex. Oh, you know what? I think I got it now. And that's something I talk about too. I definitely talk about that. No intimacy. I hope I got it right. No intimacy if y'all are not together. And I talk to a lot of men and women about that too. Are you and that parent still getting into a little something when y'all not really together? You got to stop that. That's a part of counseling kids, counsel them without the parents there. Yeah, if you can. And at some point, hopefully you can bring the parents to the table so we can all work together, because the goal is to have everybody work together. That's why there's two homes, there's two sets of rules. Yeah, stop making a relationship that has ended out. Okay, I thought that's where you're going. I got it. And I talk to a lot of men and women about that. When we sit down, one of the first questions I'll ask, when last time you've been with dad? When last time you've been with mom? And what I'm watching for is body language. The words may go, oh, no, it's been a while. No. I'm looking at body language. Shame is one of the first things that's given off. And so one of the first things, and here's the message, here's what Ellen put up. I thought that's where she was going. And the reason why is, here's what that does. Sends the wrong message to your ex, sends an even worse message to the children. Do not place children in a situation where they think you two are getting back together and you know that you are not. Don't do that. Do not do that. When I separated from my ex-wife pending divorce, it took my son, who was 7 years. 7 years. We had a conversation when he was 15. I said, you thought your mother and I were going to get back together? He said, yeah. Really? Why? He said, I just, because it's the way it was. And what I realized, his first 8 years was in the marriage. So he needed almost as equal time without the marriage to be comfortable that dad was not going to be there, because his whole life, all he known was me there with his mom. And we hid a lot of the problems that we were dealing with away from our children because we were smart in that capacity. We had our issues, but we were smart enough not to bring it to our children. But children still see. And so, but my little one, who was 4 at the time, he figured it out. He was already brain working. He was like, so when I'm with you, I get Christmas gifts. And when I'm with mommy, I get Christmas gifts. And so I get 2 birthdays. He was already plotting. And I'm not mad at him for it. He had figured it out. When I'm with dad, I get, and when I'm with mom, I get. So he was already he was already plotting. But the older of the two needed to figure it out. Now, if you guys have never read my book, From Gigolo to Jesus, yes, I wrote a book called From Gigolo to Jesus, where I put all of my life and all my trash out there. I have no problem with y'all judging me. Let me give you a little something about me if this is the first time you're hearing me live. Buckle up. Buckle up. You ready? Okay. You might tune out the live at this point. You may get disgusted and just turn away, but buckle up. I am 54 years old. Let me just put that on the table so you can do the numbers. I have 7 children with 6 different women. Yep. I was a complete misogynistic whore. 7 children, 6 different women. Had my first child when I was 14 or 15 years old. Yep. But before you judge me, I've only had 1 child, and I've been with 1 woman the last 22 years. So it's on you. Feel any way that you choose. I've been with, sexually, almost over 400 women, something like that. Some ridiculous, sick ass number like that. Pardon my language. Because when you're living out in the streets with no dad and being raised by the streets, and my mother and grandmother did the best they could as women, but as men, I gravitated to the men's in the street, and the men's in the street told me it's all about the panties, and that's what became my God. So I was out worshiping the God of panties. And again, not realizing the soul ties that I was creating in doing that. And then when you are out there living foul, as I was, this is again why I wrote the book From Gigolo to Jesus, you come across unwanted pregnancies and you have to figure out a way to do something about that. So I've been a part of 25 or 26 miscarriages or abortions. So when I come to the table to try to help young men not go the route that I went, and I thank God for saving my life, it is because I know the darkness. I know it very well, embraced it, became it. What saved my life? God and my wife. Yeah, God and my wife. And also my mother and grandmother for planting seeds in me that when God decided to water them, I knew how to react. So don't stop praying, ladies. Don't stop praying, grandma. Don't stop praying, daddies. Don't stop praying, granddads. Because those prayers plant seeds that when God waters them, you will start to react accordingly. For me, anyway. And God spoke to me in a hotel about to get into something I wasn't supposed to get into. So it did not happen in church. And I'm not knocking church. I'm just trying to tell you, when God says church is everywhere, it is. Because that's where he spoke to me, where I was at my worst and also my lowest. So one of the things that you come to learn over those years when you make a bunch of babies, you got to, how you going to deal with their moms. So when I say I understand the blended family situation, I do. When I say I understand the baby mama drama, I do. And I don't know if you can see it, but back there on my wall, I was invited, my wife and I, to be a part of Ebony Magazine back in 2012 because we had actually talked about and showed, and we still show, how to put all that baby mama drama to rest. And it starts with accepting what you were, acknowledging what you did, apologizing for how you behaved, and then getting up and living your life differently. Now, my grandmother, rest in peace, she gave me some very sound advice, and this is why we have to listen to the elders. The first night home after getting separated, I had to go back home to live with my mother and grandmother, not something that I pleasured in the least. So I was emotional. And most men, when they screw up and realize how bad that they have been, we cry in silence. We cry privately. Or we cry around the women that we trust, might be mom, grandmother, or that lady that we really trusted with our souls because we just were able to pour. Most men have at least one or two of those women in their lives. Now, if she has her feet on the ground, she's not allowing her legs to open. If she's as broken as he is, they're still having sex. That's another live for another day. So in this case, my grandmother opened up the door, saw me emotional, and she didn't act like most mothers and grandmothers. That wasn't her style. My grandmother was a hardened Christian Baptist woman from the South, or South influenced. I'll say it that from the South. Her mother was from North Carolina, Virginia, North Carolina area. She said, "Listen to me, boy, and listen to me good. You cry tonight. And then you get your ass up and you start living your life because we didn't raise you to be soft. And ain't no woman going to break you because of the crap." And she said something else. She was a Christian woman, but her mouth was, "Woo, because of the S that you went through. We raised you better than that. Yeah, you out here making mistakes. Yeah, you out here being stupid. Well, God allows for that. Get your behind up and tomorrow start living your life." Now, you want her to feel it? Now I'm thinking, here come the dirt. I'm ready. How do I make her feel it? Be better at being you. What? Become a better man. Learn from this. That's how you get her back. And she wasn't saying get her back to get back together, because my ex wasn't all that good either. We were both bad parents and bad husband and wives. And let me tell you something about that old lady. I'm getting the book. Yes, I Will Be Fine. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that. My links is in my bio. Go to my website. Don't go to Amazon. I'm going to tell you why. Jeff Bezos already has $1 trillion. You can get the book from my website and it'll be sent to you directly. And the reason why, the reason why is Jeff Bezos takes 55% from independent authors on purchases from Amazon. Not that I knock Amazon, because my books are on Amazon. But go to my website. My link is in the bio, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, everywhere. Or just go to bravenpublishing.com. But yeah. And let me tell you why that advice was some of the soundest advice I ever had at a moment when I was troubled. Was because since my divorce, I have achieved 2 master's degrees. I've started 2 businesses. I've written 6 books. I've been a part of 7 other books. I've been featured in Ebony, Essence, Jet magazine. I've been on television. And I married somebody. Oh, sure. Reach out. Definitely reach out. Hit my inbox. Would love to connect. I interview with anybody. And all the things that I was able to achieve was because once I dealt with my dirt, allowed God to speak to me, and clung to my wife, who never allowed my dirt when we were dating to get into the way, which I needed to clean up. And so now we've been together 22 years. We've been married 15. And all those awards and plaques you see on my wall behind me don't get there if I didn't fix me. So when I tell you 2 families, 2 sets of rules, I am telling you because I understand it. I'm telling you because I've lived it. I'm telling you because it has to be if you want your children to be able to come through normal. You're going to have to interview me again, brother. Okay, brother Pastor McGuire, I'm here. Always. I'm always ready. And the reason why is because if we have not dealt with our hurt, we will pour it over into our children, even if you think you're hiding it. Now, I'm going to leave you with this because I got to get ready to go. I actually I'm hooking up with my partner from across the pond over in Italy. We get together every 4 or 5 weeks to talk. So I want to leave you with this. And this is to all the parents who think, I don't care what that man says, I'm going to do it the way I do it. I feel you. I feel you. Oh, and here you go, Ellen. Let me give you this. If anybody needs my information, here's my information. All of my websites, everything is right there. There's the link right there. The Linktree link right there. If you need to speak to me, set up a free or private call. If you need counseling, if you want to set up an interview, if you want to purchase my books, everything is on my Linktree. Just click that link or just copy that link, or just go to Linktree and Keith_KL_Belvin is everything that you need. All right, let me share you with this. And this is what prompted me to finally get out of the house with my ex-wife and my sons. In my book, From Gigolo to Jesus, you will read how my ex-wife and I went through an abortion. We made that decision because our relationship was spiraling out of control. She found out she was pregnant late in the game. We both realized it wasn't a good move. And at that time, she wound up using RU486, the abortion pill. Very difficult. Very difficult time. I was very insensitive, and I wish I could go. If there's ever one thing, I don't regret the way things spiraled. It just did. It was a bad marriage. The only thing I regret in terms of my behavior, there's a lot that I would love to change, but something that really stands out to me was how I behaved during that process of her using the RU486 pill. Now that I'm older, now that I have a better and mature understanding of what women go through in terms of a miscarriage or a forced abortion, 1, I would never ask a woman to do that again. Never. 2, I would have been more sensitive to what was going on. I didn't know any better because I didn't know any better. So that's one thing I just want to say that. And I have apologized to her, whether it's fell on deaf ears or not. And I apologize to many women because there's other women too that cannot have children because of me, because they went through abortions. And that's something I try to explain to a man. And it's bothering me now that we have rules that women can't decide to do what they do with their bodies, but that's a different life. But I don't believe any man has the right to tell a woman what to do with her body. Any man. Because you don't understand the implications of what you're saying to another woman's body. So, and I'm not going to get political. I'm just telling you how I feel. But back to what I'm saying. I was sitting in the living room. My 4-year-old came in. And he said, "Hey, Daddy." And he's always been bubbly and bright. Still is. I said, "What's up, little man?" He said, "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." And this is why we got to pay attention to children. They see more than you think. And I said, "What's up?" He said, "How come you and Mommy don't hug like Uncle Gene and Aunt Lisa?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "How come y'all don't hug and kiss like Aunt and Uncle?" I said, "No, we do. We do." He said, No, you don't. No, you don't." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "When you come home, you come into the living room after we eat dinner. And when Mommy comes home, she eats dinner by herself and she goes into the bedroom." And I said, "Nah, we good. We hang out." He said, "No, I don't never see y'all kiss and hug." And then he said, like on TV, the husbands and wives kiss on TV. They're happy. You and Mommy don't look happy. Oh, oh man, when I tell you that broke me down. Because all this time we thought we were hiding it. All this time we thought we weren't arguing in front of them. None of that. And the whole time a 4-year-old. And that's why God tells you to let children speak. Stop telling children to shut up. Stop telling the child don't talk. You want to learn something? Ask the child what they see. I still do that today in my mentor program, in my classroom, wherever I'm at. Hold on. What you got to say, little man? What you got to say, little one? Come on, princess, talk to me. And what you will hear, if you're ready to deal with it, may be some harsh truth. All my educator friends and family know what I'm talking about. When you in a classroom and you let a kid speak, whoo, Lord, the truth is coming. You wore that shirt on Tuesday. I mean, you don't wash your clothes, and you know what? You didn't. So stop playing. They busted you. But what that did was that prompted me that I had to make a move. And what I realized at that moment, I was raising two sons to believe a good marriage is dad in one room, mom in the other, and no affection. I knew I had to leave. I knew I had reached a point that I was harming my children because I already knew she was unhappy and I was unhappy. You two people cannot be unhappy in a home and it not pour over to the children. That goes back to my original point of if you have two homes, you must respect the rules of each home for the sake of the child. If you need help, you come to me. My information is right there on the screen. And the reason why you sit down and have a session with me is because you're not going to be, hey, Flex, you're not going to be as open and as honest with yourself or with your former partner. And you might not even be as open and honest with your new partner simply because you may not want them to see you as bad as you were. You may sell them on the new you. I'm here to fix the whole you, which means we got to go back and look at the old you, male or female. I work mostly with women, but I do work with some men who are ready to park their egos. Women are more likely to get help than men, but I'm here for it. So, guys, I got to get ready to go. I got to get ready for my call, but I do want to say thank you, Ellen. Appreciate you, Flex. Thank you for getting here, Pastor McGuire. Always good to see you. Appreciate you. And guys, I am here. This is what I do. My information, as you see on the screen, is there. All you got to do is go to my link tree. All of my information, my two websites, my counseling information, everything. Email, everything is there. Everything. Even if you wanted to send gifts, and I don't solicit any of that, but even that's there because somebody wants to ask me, do you take it? It's there. And the reason why is, more importantly, is the message. I try to make sure I bring value each time this camera is on. And I don't care to how many people is on, because God will make sure those that need to hear this will hear it. Ellen, thank you. Wisdom at our feet looks forward. Thank you. I appreciate you, Ellen. Yes, I look forward to hearing from you too. And if you want to set up an interview, my email is there. Click it. Let's talk. Let's jump on a Zoom call and let's have a conversation. Let's see what we can collab on. I love meeting new people. Let's see what we can build on. I would love to do that. All my information is there. Please reach out. Actually, there's a discovery call link for you guys that might be interested in counseling. When you click on my Linktree link, there's a discovery call. That's for a free discovery call. Click on that, fill out the form, and we can get together and have a free call. All of my first calls are free. And the reason why is I may not be the person who can help you, but I will do the best I can. And if I cannot help you, I will not hurt. I will not take on a session or a case with anybody if I can't bring my A game. And I might not be the one, but I do have other resources of people that I can reach out and connect you with. I work with a wonderful sister. I'm bringing on a new psychologist and just spoke to a new doctor that I'm bringing on, and she'll be able to even handle some of the medical information if you need that. So I'm building a team that will be in position for whatever you need. I'm just going to be the spearhead that gets things started. So all my information is right there on the screen. So again, I pray that I have brought value. So listen to me and remember this. Please remember this. It is my belief that when two or more people get together with the idea of fixing something, yes, I believe we can fix this, as it says in my hashtag. And the reason why is because the God I pray to tells me when two or more people together, he is present. And anytime there's the presence of the Lord, anything is possible. I believe that. As crazy as that may sound to any of you that may not be faith-based, I get it. But that doesn't mean I bring that to the table and overwhelm you with it when I'm talking to you. No, I'm here for secular folks too. I can help you just as well, and I will not put my faith on the table like that, but I can explain to you how it works for me. But I will find a way to help you if that's your pathway, because I hang out with Muslims, Sikhs, Jews. I hang out with everybody, and got a couple of atheist brothers and sisters that sit at the table who will go at Christians on a regular. But the reason why they don't come at me is because I respect them and they respect me. And I don't have to force this on anyone. My faith is special to me. It don't have to be special to you. But if you ask me, if you dare to cross that barrier, so Keith, why is the faith so important to you? Woo, Lord, buckle up. Buckle up if you ask me, because then I'm going to tell you how great God has been for me, and that I would not be here if it wasn't for him or my wife. But I just live it, and I hope that I'm being an example. And I really do hope and believe that when you've seen me, you've seen God. And I'm not saying it because I want to be God. I'm saying it because I'm trying to focus on him and be an example of what blessings he's granted me. Because if it wasn't for God, I would not be here. And there's still times I don't understand why he spared me and took others. And I don't overlook that, and I don't take it lightly. And neither should you. No time is guaranteed to anybody. I try to live every day with purpose, because there was a time I didn't, as I already explained to you. That's how I make up for the trash that I was. Okay? Have a wonderful day, guys. Listen, bless you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please leave your thoughts if you're seeing me on LinkedIn, or you're seeing me on Twitter, or you're seeing me on YouTube, or you're seeing me on, Facebook. Leave a message like this, all right? Share this. Also, let people in your circle know who I am. Tell them to come check me out, and I will definitely take care of them. Have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. God bless.